is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. We're going to talk about the MVP award that so many people have coveted. They really wanted it. They make it as a priority. Even James Harden is still complaining about not getting MVP over Giannis. Even Shaq is still complaining about past MVPs that he didn't get. This award, people blow it off like it's not that important, but you're actually starting to see that people really want this award. People really covet this award. And this is an award that's hard to win because you really don't know who's going to break out. You really don't know who's going to get hot. You really don't know who's going to get off to a great start because we don't really see these players outside of preseason. Plus, the season changes and trades happen and roster moves happen throughout the season, and somebody has to be the most consistent while also being dominant, while also winning games. And that's what make all those things factor in to make it tough to win this award. So I really am all over the place with this award. It's really tough to pick who I really think going to be MVP. I'm just going to go based off what I've done seen so far from these players and these teams and how successful they have been. But with that being said, I'm about to start from 5 to number 1. So at the bottom is Joel Embiid. I think the Sixers are going to be one of the best defensive teams in the NBA, but I also think they're the second best team in the East besides the Bucks, which means if they can continue to beat up on the bad teams and go out there and compete against the great teams too, they're going to have an argument for being, one of the best teams in the entire NBA, and they even have a chance to be number 1, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were number 1 in the East. But if they are, you got to give credit to their best player, and if it's Joel Embiid can continue to dominate but be more healthier and be more active and be more versatile offensively and more smarter, I think that with the wins and his numbers alone and the defense that he continues to bring at an elite level, I think that should really increase his chances of winning MVP. But that all has to go right for him to win it, which means I don't really believe that he's going to have all those things going right for him, the health and the mentality and really going out there dominating offensively and being efficient. I think that that's something that he hasn't done, but if he did do it, he should be MVP. But it's just hard to see him doing all those things in just one season and everything just going so much right for him that he has to be MVP. And with those odds being low, I really think that that's why I have him number 5. But they do show you how great the Sixers are and how great of a player he is, that he can even be on this list and be mentioned as one of the MVP candidates. He's been one of them. And I think this is another year where he's going to be one of them. But I still think this is probably going to be his best chance of getting it. But also, I think his other players are going to get in the way of him doing it. Number 4 is Anthony Davis. I think with him going to LA, he's going to win over 50 games. He's going to have the spotlight. So if he ever dominates or he ever takes over games or he's a better defender and they're a better team than we think they are, the narrative is going to work in his favor. He asked for a trade. He plays with LeBron. He has been a great defender. He has been a great teammate. He has dominated the game. And with those headlines and those things being said about him, it's going to increase the talk for him being MVP. We already know that Anthony Davis can put up MVP type numbers. He was putting up 29 and 13 before he had the hand injury. That's MVP numbers for damn near any season outside of last year. The only problem was they wasn't really at the top of the West, and that's why nobody even considered Anthony Davis for being the MVP candidate because they wasn't dominating and winning the games. And this year they should be winning a lot more games. I just don't think he's going to be the same defender because I don't really trust the defenders that they have starting with him to make a significant impact defensively, and I really don't trust them enough offensively outside of LeBron James to really go out there and help Anthony Davis win enough games but also become a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. I think it can happen, but will it happen? I think it won't. and that's why I have Anthony Davis finishing fourth, even though a lot of people wouldn't even have him this high. I think if I had to pick a Laker, I'll pick AD because he plays on both sides of the court, and he has shown that he can score better than LeBron at his age now. So if I had to pick a Laker, I'm picking AD. Number three, I have Giannis. I think that the narrative there is Giannis' time is coming. But if they win the number one record in the NBA, I don't think it would surprise anybody if he did it in the East. I don't think Giannis can really have that surprise factor unless he comes out significantly better than what he was last year, which I don't really see happening because this team is more deeper. They have more talent, and I don't think they need Giannis to really take over and dominate every single game to win MVP like he did last year. I think he's going to have the numbers. He's going to have the wins because the West is just so weak that he's going to be in the conversation, and that's why I have him number three. I think Giannis is going to have a great chance of really dominating the game and really bringing excitement and winning games, but also playing hard defensively and still taking a little bit more of a step forward offensively. And that's going to put him into the conversation of being a legitimate MVP candidate, just like he was last year. It's just up to Giannis to put himself in that conversation and have that mentality to take over, dominate, and close it out. And I think that I wouldn't be surprised if Giannis was an MVP back to back, but I just doubt that it happens, honestly and truthfully. So I have him finishing third, which is a little surprising to a lot of people. Kawhi Leonard, I think he'd be finishing second. I think he has a better team than the Lakers, the Bucks, and the Sixers. It's just about him meshing with his teammates and getting Paul George back. Kawhi Leonard has put up numbers that's worthy of an MVP. He finished top three in the MVP conversation before. I think they're going to have a better defense than most of these other teams. I feel like they're going to have a great offense, better than a lot of these other teams, and they're going to have the wins. Plus, we know that Kawhi Leonard can take over. He can score at will. He is one of the more efficient perimeter players in the league. Put him in that elite category with the LeBrons and the KDs when it comes to playing and being efficient from the three, free throw, and from the field. So I think that the efficiency will be there, the wins will be there. I think he'll pick it up defensively because he doesn't have to guard everybody because he do have Beverly. He does have Paul George to put him off certain players. So he's not putting all the effort defensively on just guarding the best player because he has other guys that can guard that position or guard the other players' best teams outside of him, which means he should be a lot more active defensively and he have a chance to put up better defensive performances than he did last year, especially in the playoffs. A lot of people were saying, Kawhi Leonard defense isn't the same. He was carrying a heavy load. His leg was a little banged up, but he still went out there and competed. He still went out there and gave it his all. And I think that he's on a better, more well-rounded team for his skill set this year, and I think that that's going to help ease the pressure. That's going to help ease him defensively, and he should be able to give you more offensively and more defensively because the team is just a lot more better and a lot more, have a lot more options, and he doesn't have to go out there and do everything for them to win. But I think that this is a good year for Kawhi Leonard to take home his first MVP of his career. I just think that James Harden has the best chance. As you seen last couple videos that I had, James Harden and the Houston Rockets being the number one team in the Western Conference. And if they can do that, and he can put up the numbers that he's been putting up in preseason and last year, getting over 30 points a game while still getting rebounds, while still getting assists, I think it's going to be hard not to give James Harden an MVP for the second time if they do finish number one in the Western Conference, which I do think they're going to do. And that is going to increase his chances of winning the MVP, which he's not going to be mad about because he's been complaining about being snubbed from the MVP list for too long. But I'm starting to see that a lot of people agree with me. Like, if you watch the team in preseason, you're going to see that they're going to be unstoppable offensively. And James Harden looks like he can pick and choose when he wants to pass. He can also pick and choose when he wants to score. And he has been able to do both the last 3-4 years. And I think that the numbers are going to be there. The wins is going to be there. And the team success is going to be there. It's just whether or not the media wants to give it to somebody else or they just fatigue from James Harden, or they just don't honestly want him to win. Just like he felt like last year, they already had it in their mind that they was going to pick Giannis, and then they already had in their mind that Russell averaged a triple double. He was going to be the MVP, which does fit narrative. Then you following him. If Russell Westbrook finish with a triple double, you voting for him. That's you following the narrative. But with him coming back with Russ, they having success. He's putting up the numbers. I think that at the end of the day, that should be enough to give him the MVP. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think the MVP gonna be Giannis again? Do you think it's gonna be Kawhi? Do you think it's gonna be AD? Do you think it's gonna be Joel Embiid? Do you think it's gonna be LeBron James? Do you think it's gonna be Jokic? Who do you guys really have winning the MVP award? Who are y'all top 5 MVPs? Do you think I'm overrating somebody? Do you think I'm underrating somebody? Whatever you think, let me know in the comment section below. I read every comment. Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, I'm gone. And let me know who you guys think is going to win MVP in the comment section below. Like this video, check out my older videos on my channel. I have many playlists. I break down rookies. I break down players. I break down summer league. I do cover the draft, and I got a mock draft up already. Not only that, I do podcasts, and I also talk about the game of basketball, whether it comes to summer league, free agency, trade deadline, buyouts, and also I cover top 10 discussions and stuff like that. So you like this type of video, you like the NBA, check out my older videos and my playlists. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching.